Okay, everyone, we're about to begin the program. Out of respect, if you could please silence your cell phones at this time. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today. I'm UNLV President Keith Whitfield, and we're here today to honor and to remember Patricia Navarro Velez, Dr. Jerry Chang, and Dr. Naoko Takemaru. These are three UNLV faculty members who were taken from us well before their time. And your thoughts continue to be with the fourth victim who is seriously injured, and we pray for their recovery. Before we begin, I want to recognize some of the people who we have here today to support the UNLV community. They include our Governor, Joe Lombardo. Thank you, Governor, for being here. We know how very, very busy your schedule is, and it means so much for you to be here today with us. We're grateful for your support and for your leadership. Nevada Board of Regent members, Chair Byron Brooks, Amy Carvalho, Laura Perkins, Stephanie Goodman, Shelley Cruz Crawford, Patrick Boylan, and Heather Brown. We also have the Nevada System of Higher Education Chancellor, Patricia Carlton, and members of the Nevada State Legislature. We also have members of the Clark County Commission, including Chair Jim Gibson and Commissioner Tick Siggerbloom. In addition, we have Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman. Joining us today is also Councilman Cedric Creer. I want to thank University Police Services Director Adam Garcia and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, particularly Sheriff Kevin McCahill. We also have with us and want to thank for being here former NSHE Regent and Congresswoman Shelley Berkeley. And I also want to acknowledge the members of the UNLV College of Fine Arts and their contributions today. I also want to thank all of the community and business leaders who are joining us here today. Thank each and every one of you for your continuing support of our university, our students, and our faculty and staff. We are forever grateful. I want to give a special shout out to the men and women of University Police Services and all of the support we've received from Metro and law enforcement partners and first responders throughout Southern Nevada. Thank you for your bravery, and thank you for being here with us today. Today, we are also joined by Mental Health Support Services from UNLV CAPS and Clark County's Vegas Strong Resiliency Center, who brought resources to today's event, including emotional support dogs. These folks are here to help. And as I have said in the past, it's okay not to be okay. But if you're in need of help, please ask or pick up materials to follow up later. So let's begin. We gather here today to grieve and to honor the lives of three colleagues, friends, mentors who will never be forgotten. We continue to mourn the tragic loss of Lee Business School professors Patricia Navarro Velez, Dr. Jerry Chang, and College of Liberal Arts professor Naoko Takemaru. These three people led remarkable lives, and they've had a very real and a very long-lasting effect on our students. Their colleagues and their families and loved ones that cared so deeply about them were all influenced by their remarkable lives. And we also know that they cared very deeply about those three individuals as well. And I have to say, what I've learned over the past several days is just how much those three individuals loved UNLV. They loved their students and they loved their colleagues. Today, we'll hear directly from colleagues and students whose lives they touched. We'll also ask them to share just a bit about the influence that they had and the enduring legacy that they have left behind. I know many of us are still struggling to understand how something like this could happen. Perhaps like me, you are feeling right now that your sense of home and your sense of security has been upended. But what has struck me as we painfully try to move through the worst day in the history of this university and the worst day in the lives for some of us is how this moment of darkness revealed the brightness in our friends, in our colleagues, and the strength of togetherness of our UNLV community. But not only just for our university, but the community of Southern Nevada and our entire state. I have been fortunate enough to be able to witness kindness, generosity, and I've seen caring and love. And more than anything else, I've gotten to see hope on the faces of some of our UNLV community. Fear and anger must never rule our actions, but rather let us move forward by using hope and fortitude. Next week at winter commencement, we will continue to honor the memories of those we lost by showcasing the realization of what they worked so hard every day to do. That was for the success of UNLV students. I can think of no greater way to honor the lives of their work by being able to see their students graduate. And in the coming days, weeks, and months, and as we begin to move forward as a university, we will do so together. To our students, you are faced with a situation that no student, no human being should ever have to endure. I admire you for your resilience, and you have my word that we are here for you, and we will continue to support you along your journey of healing. To our staff and faculty, you are the core of our university community and our mission. To those three dedicated and beloved educators, members of this core, and what we've lost is beyond words. It will take time, but we'll move forward as a university, but we will never forget Jerry, Pat, and Naoko. And we will be forever grateful for their love of this university, for their love of students and colleagues, and for those that they've left behind. Next, I'd like to invite NSHE Chancellor Patricia Carlton to say a few words.
Good afternoon. First, would just like to express my heartfelt appreciation to President Whitfield, his entire team, the faculty and the staff here at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and in particular, Director Garcia and the entire University Police Department. There are no words to say thank you for what you have done for the safety of this institution. On behalf of the Board of Regents, the presidents, the faculty, staff, and students of every institution throughout Nevada and the System Office of Nevada System of Higher Education, good afternoon, and please accept our most sincerest condolences for all of you today. As we gather together here, there are just simply no words to express the depth of sympathy and sadness that we feel as we remember Dr. Jan Chang, Dr. Patricia Navarro, and Dr. Naoko Takemaru. To the family, you have been in our prayers each and every moment since this tragedy occurred. And to the colleagues and the students, there are just no words to express our deepest sympathy to all of you. It is truly not a coincidence that UNLV is located in the center of Las Vegas. It is truly the heart and the soul of our community. I believe that everyone in our valley at some time has experienced UNLV. You've either attended the university, you have a friend or a family member as a student, or you've gone to an event at UNLV, or you've encountered a graduate in every walk of life within our valley. Every single one of us is a rebel in one form or another. UNLV is very much the core and fabric of our community and of our home and of our life. And because of that, today, this is even just more difficult as this tragedy has happened in our very own home. Personally, as a UNLV alumni, and not only my child, but if not all of my family and all of my friends and all of my colleagues attended UNLV in some form. The impact of those that we have lost, Dr. Chang, Dr. Navarro, and Dr. Takemaru, our loss of them is being felt and is very, very near and dear to us. Personally, I have heard countless stories from students and community members of the tremendous difference that each and every one of them made to their life, and personally, as they move forward in their careers and just in their educational endeavors. Their dedication to students, their commitment to education will forever live on, and that's why we're all here today. Our city, our community, and our system, and our university, we are resilient, but we must carry on their legacy because they truly are, they truly are the very best of us. And each and every day, we will honor them the very best that we can. Our hearts hurt, our hearts are empty, and I hope that we can support one another as the days, the weeks, and the years ahead will be difficult. We are a better university, we are a better community because of them and because of what they contributed to us. We will forever mourn, and we will forever miss them. On behalf of my office, on behalf of every one of our Board of Regents and the entire Nevada system of higher education throughout our state, our over 100,000 students, our over 15,000 employees, our thoughts and prayers are with the families and most importantly, with our family here at UNLV. God bless.
That was tremendous. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, we've invited colleagues and students of Dr. Navarro-Velez, Dr. Chang, and Dr. Takemaru to share a story or two about their lives and the impact that they've had on the lives of others.
Thank you for the opportunity to honor our beloved friend and colleague. My name is Gloria Rodriguez. I'm a lecturer at the Department of Accounting. I met Patricia, Pat, when I was invited to talk to her class as a guest speaker by a colleague. We learned how our backgrounds were similar. Both from Puerto Rico, both completed the Masters of Accountancy program at the same school in Ohio, and both started our professional careers with big accounting firms in San Juan. When I saw her in person for the first time, we embraced each other. Like we've been friends for years already. She encouraged me to become a lecturer here at UNLV. We stayed in touch, became close friends, friends who became family. She was my family. She made it easy for us to spend holidays away from home because whenever we were together, we felt at home. She loved to cook, cooking from scratch. She loved baking. She loved dancing. She loved singing. She had a beautiful voice. Her smile and energy were contagious. She was brilliant. She was kind. She was genuine. She was loving. She was a proud Ponceña. She was a proud Puerto Rican, a proud Puerto Riqueña. More importantly, she was a proud mom of 4, 5 counting her 4-legged one, a poodle. She was a proud cheer mom. She was also an amazing wife, sister, daughter, aunt, friend, neighbor, colleague. Pat had many plans. She kept reinventing and implementing innovative ways to expose her students to common tools and technologies currently used in the workplace. She was dedicated for the success of the students. She shared with me how fulfilling it was for her to see her students graduating and encouraged me to serve as a commencement marshal. I got to experience what she was talking about and will be forever grateful. There is a hole in our hearts that will not go away per se, because we will never forget her. We will, however, become stronger together.
My name is Johnny Trujillo, and I was a student of Dr. Navarro's studying information systems and accounting here at UNLV, and I was also extremely fond of her and looked up to her. Thank you to all involved for putting this together, and thank you all for showing up, because I know that's half the battle. Dr. Patricia Navarro, CISA, was the academic advisor to our registered student organization, ISACA Student Group, and of course, one of our biggest fans. As an established member of the professional ISACA network and a CISA professional, ISG held a special place in her heart. Over the last few semesters, she was one of the professors who provided counsel to our group. She could never contain the biggest smile at all of our events, sometimes even with her phone out like a proud aunt. She and I had sat together at the Isaka quarterly meetings, eating and connecting. We would contrast and compare the foods we were brought up with, her Puerto Rican heritage and my Mexican upbringing, and critique the food as we enjoyed it at the meetings. She made it known that she loved hosting and would share her baking accomplishments with us. Isaka student group just celebrated our first anniversary in November, and over the past few semesters, we had tried to present to as many accounting and information systems classes as we could. We were pretty grassroots. But she would be ecstatic with joy when we could make it to her accounting information systems class. We never missed one since we got established, and I'm sure she even recorded a video or two. As a student and her mentee, I am so grateful for how we spent our time together, creating memories, getting to learn from her, getting to know each other in large gatherings, which is how she would have preferred it, I imagine. I'll miss her warm, inclusive atmosphere about her. I look forward to soon calling her my colleague, my peer, my friend, when I graduated this year. But we will not waver. Our perseverance is reinforced by her loss. Her legacy will continue in our endeavors as risk, security, and assurance professionals. We will miss you, Dr. Patricia Pat Navarro. Rest in peace.
I'm thankful for this opportunity to honor my colleague, Jerry Chang. I'm H Rawhouser. I'm an associate professor in entrepreneurship. I've been in the management, entrepreneurship, and technology department with Jerry for 11 and a half years. We researched and taught about different subjects, so we didn't work side by side. Nevertheless, he influenced me through department meetings, short conversations in the hallway and at our doors, and let me describe how he influenced me and reflect on how he did it. First, he increased his potential for influence through focus. We'd all like to be amazing at everything, but the reality is that excellence requires prolonged focus. He picked what he really cared about and allocated his time and attention accordingly. Second, he allowed these areas of excellence to influence others by sharing in an authentic and real way, free from self-aggrandizement, and let me illustrate. Jerry was an effective researcher and teacher, but he, along with his wife, truly focused attention on their family. He drove his kids daily across the valley to the school that he felt would offer them the best opportunities. He did not just involve his kids in robotics, but he coached their robotics team. He helped them go to international robotics competition as a result. I didn't understand the time commitment that was involved in that until my own kids started to compete in robotics. That focus on family brought rich dividends. His daughter is in a top MD PhD program after graduating from a highly selective university. His son played piano at Carnegie Hall and the Kennedy Center and is now studying bioengineering as an undergraduate at another top university. But influencing requires sharing. Jerry shared authentically about what he cared about in an ego-free way. Perhaps the opposite of what you might think of in a university professor. Jerry did not waste words. He would pause and think, often smiling and chuckling, before speaking. If you transcribed his words in a conversation, as I do with some of my research, they would usually be just a few sentences rather than long rambling paragraphs. This approach readied the ground so that lessons carried could take root. For example, I learned of all the successes of Jerry's children from Jerry, but he never bragged or shared in an air of condescension or superiority. I could tell he was proud of his kids, but he was not proud of them for being better than someone else's kids. He did much to help them, but I never heard him speak to take credit for their success. This approach subtly demanded that I assess my own role as a father. His authentic and ego-free approach also helped me to learn how to effectively act as a faculty member. Faculty governance at universities requires faculty to make decisions by votes and in committees. That can sometimes create conflict, and sometimes that turns uncomfortable. His approach with no unwasted words showed me how to avoid unnecessary conflict and escalation. And that reduced the stress of university life for those of us in the department, and especially those of us who were young. Jerry focused on what was most important to him and achieved much as a result. His subtle and quiet way of sharing about his life has influenced me and many others. His life mattered. While his influence will live on, we will miss him.
I am Ashley Weckeser, a graduate of the Master of Science Management Information Systems program here at UNLV and a former student of Dr. Jerry Chang's. He was many things to countless UNLV students, and I'm honored to get to share what he meant to me. He left an indelible mark on my heart and in my mind through nurturing my confidence as I started my master's program. As a young woman with a liberal arts background in a business graduate level program, his support was invaluable. As a graduate assistant in his department seeking direction, I knew I could always count on his office door being open and on him being there. He was always there and always willing to help us, whether it was related to our courses, related to raising our children, or making the perfect cup of tea. His endless encouragement and his unwavering patience transcended the classroom, as I'm sure many of you know. His dedication to sparking our curiosity as students and supporting our individual journeys as spouses and parents helped make our transformation from sleep-deprived graduate students to industry professionals possible. I never knew what people meant when they said that someone had kind eyes, and now I know. His infectious smile and his kind eyes will forever be ingrained in my memory, and I am so grateful to have known him. A humble and brilliant man who inspired so much confidence and passion in me and so many other students at UNLV. May he rest in peace.
Good afternoon. I am Deborah Araga, Professor of Spanish and Linguistics in the Department of World Languages and Cultures. I am here to speak about my friend and colleague, Dr. Naoko Takemaru, to honor her career as a sociolinguist, or a linguist who studies language in society. Because of her modest and unassuming manner, many people do not know about Naoko's cutting-edge research. It is not an exaggeration to say that she was born a sociolinguist. When Naoko was a young child, her parents read Japanese folk tales to her, some of which figured an evil character, an ogre disguised as a woman. Even at such a young age, Naoko questioned why there was no evil ogre disguised as a man in any folktale. This is in fact the topic that she would go on to research, namely words and expressions in Japanese that refer to women in derogatory terms. One aspect of Naoko's groundbreaking book, Women in the Language and Society of Japan, The Linguistic Roots of Bias, is the qualitative study of 70 Japanese females ranging in age from 20 to 79, representing seven different professions. In her study, Naoko asked the participants to complete a written questionnaire in which they were to list the Japanese words and expressions that they found the most disparaging to women, and to explain why. Naoko's research is unique and important because it presents a wealth of examples that give a voice to Japanese women about gender bias in their language. Over many cups of tea, Naoko and I discussed different fields of linguistics and our own research. Because of Naoko's violent murder, we lost not only one of the best human beings I have ever known, but also a first-rate sociolinguist. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Devon Whitaker, and I am a graduate of Asian Studies from the fall semester of 2012. Dr. Naoko Takemaru was an amazing person, but for students of the Japanese language and culture, we know her as Takemaru Sensei. She had a smile that would light up an entire room. Every time I saw her, she had a smile on her face. And just that positive energy in and of itself made me want to be a better student and a better person. She knew every single student by name, every single one of them. And accountability was very important to her. For example, when I would attend class and there was a student missing, or another student was running late, or a student was at home sick, class would immediately stop and she would inquire about the personal well-being of that student. And until she knew that student was okay, then class would resume. That is the type of person that she was. She also had an open door policy. At any given time of the day, you can go to her office about any issue, not just with academia, but with any issue at all, and she would do her very best to help you through it. Like she did with me when I lost my nephew in a tragic car crash in 2012. She helped boost my spirits up to the point where I started believing in myself. To the point where I started believing in myself more and more each and every single day. That drive and that passion that she instilled in me is priceless. She taught me to take the T out of the word can't and you have the word can. I was one of the first persons and the first students to purchase her book, which I have right here. And I've been rereading this book, and it is truly fascinating because I can feel her passion and her voice speaking to me right off the page of this book. And it is such an amazing thing to be able to experience something like that. That is the type of person that Takemaru Sensei was. While she may be gone now, she will absolutely never be forgotten because she lives on in each and every single person here today and every one of her students, both past and present. Thank you and God bless.
Now I would like to welcome the Reverend Dr. Jameson and the Interfaith Council of Southern Nevada for some comments and prayer.
Well, you've just heard three accounts of three remarkable people. In the Catholic Church, they would call these saints. Takemaru Sensei, Pat, Jerry, we bow to you. We are humbled by what you have taught us as persons and as scholars and as children of the divine. So we come here today to do two things. One, to mourn, and so to the families and friends of Pat and Jerry and Takemaru Sensei, our deepest, deepest condolence. Nobody knows your loss, but we pray for you. One thing I have learned in my 70 years is that when we mourn, our hearts break. And when our hearts break, they grow. And so in a strange, peculiar way, you've all been given a gift today to allow your heart to grow just a little bit larger and to allow yourself to be affected by the integrity and authenticity of these three remarkable individuals. So for that, we give thanks. And we've also come here to honor them. So how do we honor three remarkable, incredible individuals such as these? I think we honor them by aspiring in our own life to be more than what we are in this moment. To, as Takemaru Sensei did, to smile at every person you meet, to be kinder, to be more patient with every person you meet. And so one of my dear friends, Scarlett Lewis, was the mother of Jesse Lewis. Jesse was shot at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Jesse was 6 years old. When the shooter came into the room, Jesse told his fellow students to spread and run, and he probably saved 11 kids in that classroom as a result of his courage. But as Scarlett shared with me, before Jesse went to school that day, he went to the chalkboard in the kitchen and he wrote 3 words: nourish, healing, love. Nourish, healing, love. And so Scarlett Lewis took those as orders from Jesse, and she started Choose Love, which is a nationwide movement. And what I can say is, when we look to honor these 3 incredible personalities, may we each, in our own way, each day and in each moment, nourish, healing, love, and out of that, manifest a quality of compassion, which recognizes that every one of us in this audience carries trauma, carries difficulty. And so for that, as one good rabbi in Alexandria said, we must be patient and kind with every person we meet. And out of love and compassion comes the possibility of hope. And so what I know these 3 individuals would say to us if they were here right now is that UNLV has a bright and hopeful future. And may we honor them by carrying the flame of hope forward. And I ask my brother and my rabbi, Sandy Axelrod, to share the podium.
I'm Rabbi Sanfred Axelrod of the Jewish faith, proud member of the Interfaith Council. As I look out here, I reflect upon the fact that we gather on sacred ground. It's a beautiful day. It belies the horror and tragedy of the week past. But this day is bright, it is filled with light. And that's how I want to remember this day. It is easy when confronted with violence, and sadness, and grief to lose our way. It is easy to lose hope. It is easy to wonder whether we're doing the right thing in life and where is God? But I see God. I see God in all of your eyes, in all of the words that have been said. And as I reflect back upon the people who came to help, who risked their own lives, I felt God's presence. But as easy as it is to lose our way, I carry with me always in this jacket 2 reminders. In one pocket, I carry a stone, and on it is written the word hope. It's to remind me never to lose hope on days like this in which we grieve. It is hope that sustains me. And in my other pocket, I always carry this compass. It's to remind me that when I feel lost, I look to my friends, I look to my faith, and I will always find my way home. So for everyone here, as we gather to mourn and grieve, we also celebrate these lives. Let us give ourselves hope. Let us help each other find our way through this grief, through the guidance of our faith and our love. I share with you this prayer from the Jewish tradition. It is a responsive reading, and it talks about the gentle dance between memory and mourning and missing. That in the days and years that come about, there will be times in which we will remember our loved ones and we will miss them and we will mourn them and we will remember them. This gentle dance goes on until hopefully with the passage of time, what is left is the precious gift of memory. So please, you as the congregation, your refrain is, we remember them. At the rising of the sun and at its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, at the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, at the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. For as long as we live, as long as we gather here on sacred ground to learn to be together, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jenna Kff. I'm a Muslim and I am a senior at Bishop Gorman High School and president of the St. Francis of Assisi Interfaith Club. I'm proud to come from a strong line of UNLV alumna. I would like to begin this statement by offering my most sincere condolences to the families of Dr. Chang, Dr. Velez, and Dr. Takemaru. I pray that they are all in heaven's highest levels. What has taken place on December 6th is a direct reflection of the atrocities humanity is capable of. Gun violence has proven time and time again to be the ultimate hindrance to our society. In no world should the job of teaching be considered high risk. No spouse, no child, no mother, or any role for that matter should have to worry about whether their loved one is making it home from school. It goes without saying that the three beloved professors will never be forgotten by the city of Las Vegas and are commended for their selfless service to future generations. That being said, I would like to remind everyone of the good that humanity is capable of. As a community, we have the power to turn prayer into actions. Let us find solace in our shared commitment to building bridges of understanding, compassion, and unity. In Islam, the Quran unequivocally condemns the taking of innocent lives. It teaches us that the killing of one person is like killing all of humanity, but the saving of one life is like saving all of humanity. The teachings of Islam, like those of many faiths, implore us to resist hatred and violence and to stand united against the darkness that seeks to divide us. May our prayers and our condolences serve as a testament to our shared humanity, transcending religious boundaries and reinforcing the values that bind us all together. Together, let us work towards a world where the warmth of love extinguishes the darkness of despair and where the sanctity of every life is cherished and protected. May peace be upon those we have lost. May our collective efforts lead to a future where such vigils are no longer necessary. And may we stand together and uplift one another in this time as we are always Vegas strong.
Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Katherine Greg. I'm an Episcopal priest, retired from the Diocese of Nevada. Wednesday, December 6th, was the end of life as it had been known for Dr. Jerry Chang, for Dr. Pat Navarro, for Dr. Naoko Takemaru. Gifts given to us and now gone from our sight. And it's the end of life as it's been known for all of us who knew and loved them, and for all of us who care about them and care about all who suffer from acts of violence. It's an end to the innocence that we can walk onto this campus our campus without fear. We can no longer believe that it can't happen here. And so we gather together today to pray that what's in us, to pray our loss, to pray our anger, to pray our grief, to pray our confusion, to pray our sense of futility, to bring to speech and to lay all that is in us before the God who knows the end from the beginning. We pray our pain, and we pray our compassion for all whose lives are broken in this tragedy. And I pray that in the deep breaking open of our hearts, we will find in the very depth of our brokenness what death can never destroy: love. The love that's real and substantial, and the very ground and the very source of our being. That love is stronger than death. It is stronger than hate. It is stronger than fear. And it's only that love that will heal and that will cause us to endure, that will heal this campus and that will heal the world. I pray today that the seeds of every single good thing, every single loving thing, every good inspiring thing that Dr. Chang, Dr. Navarro, Dr. Takemaru have taught and done and modeled and cared about, that those seeds would take root in the deepest places of your broken heart, and that they would in time grow and produce the fruit of goodness in you and through you. That the light of these precious friends and colleagues would find a place in you, and that light would cause you to be a light in the darkness. I'd like to close with a prayer from John O'Donohue. Though we need to weep your loss, you dwell in that safe place in our hearts where no storm or night or pain can reach you now. Your love was like the dawn, brightening over our lives, awakening beneath the dark a further adventure of color. The sound of your voice found for us a new music that brightened everything. Whatever you unfolded in your gaze quickened in the joy of its being. You placed smiles like flowers on the altars of our heart. Your mind always sparkled with the wonder of things. Though your days here were brief, your spirit was alive, awake, and complete. We look toward each other no longer from the old distance of our names. Now you dwell inside the rhythm of our breath. When orchids brighten the earth and darkest winter has turned to spring, may this dark grief flower with hope in every heart that loves you. May you continue to inspire us to enter each day with a generous heart, to serve the call of courage and love until we see your beautiful face again in that land where there is no more separation, where all tears will be wiped from our mind, and where we will never lose you again. Amen.
Candace C. I represent nature-based or earth-based spiritualities. In troubled times, we remember who we are. We are spirit. We are life. We are loving and compassionate people. We are comforted by each other's presence. Though the world is troubled, we walk each day surrounded by love. Though life is uncertain, we celebrate existence. Let us surround ourselves now with healing and compassion. We call upon the East, energy of air and intellect. Bless us with your cleansing breath, dry our tears. Remember, you are air. Be still, focus, decide. We call upon the South, energy of fire and passion. Burn away what we no longer need. Remember that you are fire. Have courage, ignite, transform. We call upon the West, energy of water and emotion. Deepen our compassion. Let love flow through us. Remember that you are water. Cry, flow, cleanse. We call upon the North, energy of earth and stability. Enable us to endure, to nurture, and to give. Remember that you are earth, ground, build, give. We call upon the above, infinite light of day and the countless stars of night. Remind us that you are vast, beautiful, and majestic beyond our understanding. Remember that you are star stuff. Expand, shine brightly, love. We call upon below, place of stillness and wisdom. Let your cool, quiet darkness enfold and nurture us. Remember that you are all potential. Germinate, birth, and grow. And we call upon within the spirits of enlightenment, the divine spark that is the source of our being. May our souls be cleansed of despair and filled with hope. Remember the source of your being. Heal, live, love. O great and beautiful Spirit of light, O bright and bountiful Spirit of love, O sacred, mysterious Spirit of life, we call upon you. We ask that the energies of those gathered here fill this sacred space with loving compassion. Let the strength that is our common love join from the many to the one. We know that we hurt, but in communion we can share the hurt. We know that we grieve, but in communion we can share the grief. Through the light of Spirit we gather strength. Through the love of Spirit we share our compassion. Through the strength of all those gathered here, we share hope. Blessed be. Blessings on all of you.
My name is Cantor Jessica Hutchings, and I'm representing Judaism. Author of life, humanity has turned violent, crushing lives, upending dreams, attacking our hearts with vitriol and hatred in this act of calculated terror. Today, we add UNLV to the list of places where innocent, beautiful people, Dr. Chang, Dr. Navarro, Dr. Takemaru, have been murdered. Source and Creator, grant perfect rest to these beautiful people whose lives were cut short by witless aggression. Remember with love all of you, the survivors of these horrors. May you be sheltered with comfort and consolation, blessing and renewal. May you be granted endurance to survive, strength to rebuild, faith to mourn, courage to heal, and devotion to each other. Heavenly Guide, hand of love and shelter, grant the victims of terror your protection, your wholeness and healing, and your peace. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream to be, and all to lose, a thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, for your laugh once lifted me, for your word was gift to me. To remember this brings painful joy. Ooh.
thing to love, 'tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love, to love, to love, to love, to love what death has touched.
At this time, if you have a candle, please turn the light on and hold it up. We will have a moment of silence before the ringing of the bells as a symbol for those who we have lost.
You're broken down and tired of living a life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. But I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000. I like the waves, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and but we have each other. Yeah, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you.
That was exceptional. Thank you. So we've gathered this afternoon as a university community to grieve together and to be together. In the worst of moments, we have been there for each other. I believe that in the days, the weeks, and the months to come, we will need to continue to be there for each other. Our university, our community, our people cannot be defined by an unspeakable act of violence that has shaken all of us to our core. I believe, I know that we're going to move forward together as a university and as a community. I've said it since I arrived here, that this is a very special community. And in our hour of darkness, I've seen our community shine bright with love, support, and encouragement for one another. Please, each one of you remember, we are strong, we are resilient, and we are UNLV. Thank you all very much for being here today.